Hello and welcome to Megawatt, where each week we give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets. This week it's all about this stuff, bright orange. It's called d3O and it's expected to change the way adrenaline junkies do exercise. So what's it all about? Well, we're here in Hove and we're going to go and check it out. We're here with Richard Palmer, founder and inventor of d3O. Now, what is d3O?
Well, it's an amazingly soft, flexible, bright orange material which has phenomenal shock absorption.
Okay.
And we use it in hats, in garments, you know, for elbows and knees.
Gloves,
and
coats?
Gloves, anywhere where you want freedom of movement, but you have phenomenal shock absorption.
Okay, this seems well, this seems amazing. I don't know what it is. So can you show us what it's all about, where we started from and stuff like that? Should we go? Excellent. Digital cameras are great, aren't they? They allow us to take pictures, video, share them with friends around the world. But the trouble with high resolutions on the new cameras that you get is that sharing them takes a bit of time. Well, Casio thinks it has the answer with the Elixim Z77. On a camera side, there's a 7 megapixel camera, there's 3 times optical zoom, there's face detection, there's movie modes, and there's plenty of scene modes. But the most interesting thing of all is that it is YouTube capture mode. Now, loading this up, it's basically accessed as a scene. If we scroll down, be able to find it. Okay, here. Now, when I select this, as you can see, it's got YouTube mode only. So basically, once I shoot in this mode, I can then load it automatically up to YouTube in the right format, the right resolution, and the right size pretty quick. I'm going to take a movie now. We're making a movie while making a movie. How cool is that? And anything that I record would be in the right size. I can then automatically just plug this straight into the computer, download the file, upload it straight to YouTube, and away you go. On the picture front, the images are quite good, and as a whole, the camera's quite a nifty thing. But if you're thinking about making movies for YouTube, whether they're quick reviews or maybe perhaps more dynamic things on location, this will certainly help you get that information out there as quick as you can. And that's the Casio Z77. So we're here in the lab, which is where Richard and his team make the prototype designs and concepts for things that go into clothing, etc., etc. So what is it actually made of? What does it start with?
Well, the magic ingredient, I'll show you out of this tin, this strange rubbery fluid is the core ingredient, and as you can see, it's a fluid which allows you to move it slowly. But if you start to move it quickly or impact it, then it starts to behave completely differently. And in this form, it's very useful to show, but not very useful as a product because it won't stay where you put it.
Right, because it's too sort of...
It's still a fluid.
Gooey.
Exactly, yeah. And so what we do is we engineer a way of locking it together to keep it in the shape, and then we just make sure that when we turn it into a solid, we just put it into a shape which fits the application. So
did you come up with the idea and the chemical? You're like a sort of biologist that's sort of sitting there working away, or have you sort of thought, well, I've seen that before somewhere in nature and that's why I wanted to...
Combination in a way. Fluids like this exist in all sorts of... You can even find them in your kitchen with custard powder or corn flour and water. Okay, so we've got the goo. That's pretty mad stuff. So we've got the goo. How do we then make that into something useful? Well, what we do is we have a secret formulation which turns it into a fluid, which then reacts together in this machine here, and the final product is then effectively a chemical reaction, which then ends up as a material, and we just make sure that that chemical reaction occurs in a shape which matches what we want to make as a final product. So this is a particular shape. This is actually a product that we use for elbows and knees, and the material is poured in here. The lid is closed, and then magically, when you open it, you have a piece of d3O. Now, if you didn't understand a word of that, and I'm still struggling to get around it myself, here's a quick video to explain it a bit easier.
D3O, as it's pronounced, is a specially engineered material that, when in its final mold form, can be worn as a protective shell around the head, body, feet and hands, making ordinary weedy mortals appear to be indestructible. Hurrah! Even though rumour has it that it was genetically modified from the Tango Man, it's actually made with so-called intelligent molecules. Unlike stupid molecules that randomly float around you in a seemingly meaningless void, the intelligent molecules in D3O flow with you as you move, but on shock locked together to absorb the impact energy. So how are these molds made? Well, first a very clever artistic type makes a drawing of a new product concept. There he is! He's very clever, you know! These concept drawings are then fed into an even more clever computer that works out exact dimensions for an even more clever machine to make a prototype tool. Look at it go! Once the prototype tool has been cut, it's possible to prepare a mold. The original D3O material is first turned to a sticky orange goo before being pumped through this thingamajig. Once the goo is in the mold, it's then left to set. And hey presto!
Well, should be ready. So let's have a look. Ta-da!
So it's just taken the properties of a cast.
It basically now it's a piece of D3O in the shape that you've cast it into, and there you have it.
Okay. And so can we go and test to see how strong it is?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. We hate parents on Facebook. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, come on. There is a time and a place for sharing love and emotion in a family sense. And that was, guess what, when I was 14. Maybe when I was under the age of 18, but not on Facebook, not when I'm there with all my friends and I'm being seen being drunk or what have you, what have you, have you. It's just not on. Oh, hi, how many friends have I got that are my parents? Brilliant. No, no, no. There is a place for parents on social networking, and it's not Facebook. And I'm terribly sorry, but that's how it goes. And that's why we hate parents on Facebook. So we're here with Richard and Chris, who's going to show us. We've rigged up one of the mould that we took from the making lab, and we're going to see how tough it really is. So, what do we do? What's
okay, well, it's like a big hammer. Chris will use the hammer in a minute. But what's going to happen is we'll put an amount of energy into it, so give it a hit, and you see that little green cable? That's taking a signal from behind it to see how much force has come through, and then we go through some clever electronics, and we'll end up with a plot showing what the actual impact transmitted force was.
Excellent. So it's hammer time.
And then what you get here is a plot. This is time.
Okay.
And this is force. And you then see how much force was actually transmitted, and therefore how much absorption there was and how much protection you've got. Okay,
so we've seen it on a testing rig.
Yeah.
What's the next stage?
Well, you can see it in use if you like, because I'm wearing it in my trousers.
Excellent. Let's go and hammer time you. So, well, thanks for showing us in the testing lab, but, you know, how would I use it in real life?
Well, let me demonstrate.
Stand back. Now, you just really hard, or...
I might be that as well. But no, I'm cheating because
right.
I have some D3O in my trousers. In a little
oh, cool,
here.
So knee pads.
Yeah, it's basically one of these, just sewn into an inner piece, so it's not flopping around, and so I know it's keeping in the right place, and that's what it is.
And so you'd use that for sort of boarding or...
Anywhere where you want the flexibility, but you want impact protection. These were built for parkour because they're sort of very floppy, but yes, snowboarding, skiing, mountain biking, hitting yourself with a spade.
Right, can I have a go? Is that brave?
Yeah.
Right, so...
Go for your life.
Basically, I'm
right on the knee.
It's there, just there.
Yeah.
I'm doing that quite hard. You're not feeling anything?
I feel it, but I'm still here.
Well, it seems if you want to bash your shelf with a shovel, then you obviously need to get some D3O. So thanks very much to inventor Richard for showing us how it works, for allowing us to bash it.
Thank you for hitting me.
That was quite, I enjoyed that, that was good. Yeah, that's it for this week, so I hope you've enjoyed the show. Why don't you tune in next time for more tips, tricks, news, opinions, reviews and much more from the world of technology and gadgets. This is Megawatt TV, thanks for watching.